Hello, I'm Sarikit Thabamlung from Group Cat Angler. Today I'm going to explain my code. So first, let's start at main.cpp. So in main.cpp, there is only the main game loop that I call the class engine, the engine init, and in the loop I call like the event update render function and the tick function that deal with the time from the timer class. So let's take a look at the timer. So here are the timer class. We have target FPS and target data time. In the .cp file of the timer, I have only the function tick that if the data time is exceed the target data time, it will equal to target data time. And we also have the still getting to get the time at that event. Then let's take a look at our engine class. In our engine, we do as more of the thing in our game, like there are the init card, clean, create, update, render, event, syncing state, CPU slot, and other things. It's to do with the game state. We also have the game state card that is the base card for the game state. For the game state, we have menu state and page state. First, let's look at the menu. In the menu, we have like render function for render any kind of the menu and the base. The function from the base game state, which are init, exit, update, render. I forgot to say that we use get instance to so it can be called in any page of the program. We like to get the sum of the variable, and we also have init for the button and set cursor. For the pay, we deal with the game logic and load data and save data. So let's take a look at our engine.cpp. In our engine.cpp, we include a lot of things, and there are init function that we init most of the things like SDL window, SDL audio, SDL renderer, and TTF like sound and menu. We also have M is running variable to check if the game is running. For the clean function, we just clean the most of the thing like delete it and free it from the variable. For the quit, we just set if M is running to false and update. We just update the game state based on the input of the input class. Maybe the button that we press and we change the game state. So we have game state like the menu, prepare, and play. The prepare is just create the new play object. So new, we will start a new play class every time we press the start button in the menu. So for the render, we just render. We do with render for the game state at that time. So it's basically just the menu and play. In the toggle full function, which we can access by pressing, we just change between the screen window and full screen. For the event, we use it for dealing with the input. Then let's take a look at our menu class. In our menu, we have init from the game start, and in the .cpp, you can see that there are a lot of functions. Like we create an animation for the menu because we want to like pay the animation of the wallpaper. The init we need the executed the renderer that we get from the engine class, and we also need the button. And in the exit, we just exit. For the update, we update the player slot that being updated at that time. And for the render, we just render the class. We just render the picture, the base, the button, the logo, the text, or the menu. As you can see here. For the render save skin, we just render the save skin like the picture, the slot. You can also delete the save, just pressing the button. Here is our logic to render T of the slot. And the render setting, you just render the setting. You also have the slider cast. No, you also have the slider in the input card. So this is just the rest of our code. The init button, we init all the button in the menu and we push it into the vector of the button refer to the input class. The set cursor, we didn't use it. Next, let's take a look at our input class. Input is mostly handle all of the thing that refer to the input, just like kick, the press, the keyboard space, the slider. So yeah, as you can see, you can see a struct button that for creating the button and call the function in the button, like on click function and on hover function. And here are all the functions that we use, like the get mouse button one time is just one click, and the mouse button down is just like the you didn't release the button and it will return to. It is for the slider. So most we have like the vector for the button and slider. In the input.cpp, you can see that there's a lot of logic that we use. The listen function is to check the button with the event loop here. Then there are the rest of the function, like get key up, key down, get mouse button down one time, get mouse button up, get mouse position. Add button is just like you input the parameter and it will add the button to the vector. If it already have the button, it will not push the button that you put here. If the X and Y and width and height is the same as the O button, the release button we use to delete the button from the position that we input to the left of the button. The handle button event we handle both the hover and on click function, so it acts differently. The render button is just basically render button when we want to know which grade it put, but basically we don't use it. We just use it when debug. A slider, render slider, and handle slider event is just like a button, but it's called slider. Let's take a look at the page class. In page, we have map for the load data, vector for unlock fish, and game data that we will use to save and load data. In pay function, in pay class, you can see that in the init, we need the type, we use to load the map, and then the load data that will load from the text file using the save manager. Here we just save class. It's just like the mode of save and load game. We just load the game from the text file and map it to our map or data. Let's continue to the precast. So we just initiate the variable for type size, width and height. We set the camera says limit width and height so it not exceed, and then we initiate cat object with a property that loaded from the file, like the position x, the position y, and health. We also load the coin day, and then we initiate shop and set the shop, link the shop coin, link the amount of coin to pay to the shop, and then initiate the camera. And for this, use for like push the current fish that have been caught to the game data, so we can show it in the fish collection. And here is save manager for loaded item to the cat inventory and fish list for the fish manager class. This is for pushing the normal item, this for pushing the fish item, and then we need the button. The exit is just save and delete most of the thing. In the updates, we update the current window, check if we is opening the fish collection. Then if it's not hot or the collection is not opening, we just keep playing. We set the camera, the timer, and update the cat with the data time. We also check if the shop is opening, set the coin of the cat, and set the shop inventory, connect it with the player, and update the camera. For this, we just update the fish on the unlock fish that have been cached to the game data. Next, for the render in pay, the cam is set to camera get print and get position, and for the we just check for the render function, we just render most of the thing, like the tile, floor and house. We separate the tile to many layers, and we have to render it layer by layer. So if the cat is not interact with the house, you just render the floor, and else if it will render the house. Then we render the cat and the item that it equipped, and then we render the tree and inventory. And if the shop is invisible, we will render the shop too. And if the game is paused, we will render the pause menu. And also, if the collection is open, we will render the collection. For the init button, we just init the button on the screen. And for the render collection, it's just render the fish collection. Then let's take a look at the cat class. Cat is inherit from the character class, and character also inherit from the game object, which is the base class. In the game object, we have the stock property to store the most variable like position, x, y, width, and height. The fifth, and then we have like a base class like draw, update, clean, emerging with the point class transform. For the point class, we just like dealing with the point with just the function overload. Most of the thing like minus, plus. For the transform, we use it to deal with the float like xy position. For the vector 2D, we use it to overload the vector, as you can see. Then in the character class, we have like get health, reduce health, the base class like draw, update, queen, store the m name and m health. In the cat class, we have a lot of function and variable. Here, the speed. The function are like to get fishing, direction, get x, get y, get position, set the call to cat, update equip dog inventory, and these are the class that we use, like the inventory, class, animation, collider, rigid body. Rigid body is like the class that deal with the physics in the game, like gravity, mass, force, friction. We just do like the most of the calculation for moving the player. Then this is the cat.cp. We have like we initiate the value of the variable like the m digit body to new digit body, animation, inventory, fish manager, and health. We have like the get position of the cat like x and y, and transform x with it not the same as the normal x and y, and get the camera of the cat. The draw function is used to draw the animation of the cat, draw the interact get button when the cat is collide with the door, or the thing that we want to or we want the app to appear, and then we like this one here and here. Then if you paste you can also use it to attack the enemy. We also use the draw function to render the cache, and then draw inventory. We draw the inventory bar at the bottom of the screen, and use it to render the inventory when we open the inventory with button I. Then we render like more of the thing on the screen, like the UI, the help bar, the coin, and the text. Then for the update function, we just update the cat movement here to check if the X and Y is not 0, and if the mouse button is pressed, as you can see here, if we press W, it will go up, and same as the other button. So if you press right, it will toggle the inventory, and if not moving, the frame will change to 1, so it's not render or the frame. Because it's not moving, we want to keep it. Then if you press F, it will interact with the door or the shop. If the last direction is the build, the cat will render to keep render it. So it runs just like when we paid move to light, if you keep render the walk light animation, it will just go straight. And we change the map to collision with. We check with the collision because we have different layer for the house and the main map. And here are the calculation. After we move and we update when the cat dead here. And this form the fish manager card with the position X and Y to check if the cat is successfully catching the fish. This is the equip function. If we set one, it will use the first item in the vector, and here we check the type of the item. I think if not no, or like we have different kind of interaction with each kind of the item, so we have to separate them. But the update and all is the same. And green is just basically delete the texture of the cat. For the inventory, we just dealing with the item. We have the base item class. Here it's just dealing with all the items. We have like the name, the type, the texture ID of the item, the base card, and update. The add item, remove item, set event, set the main of the item. So it's dealing with all the thing about the item. And in inventory, there is like the offset variable for the slot width and height, bar padding, inventory bar slot, the capacity, the item vector, and you can add the remove item from the vector item. Is not same as the function in the item class. It just delete the number of items. And we have render the inventory, and render inventory bar is separated. As you can see that they are separate. Inventory, this is inventory bar, and this the inventory, the main inventory. You can also move the thing in inventory like this. So here is our inventory class. We initiate the inventory by pushing order. Push the new value to the item, so it keep the capacity of the item. So if we add the item, we will change the new to point to the item instead here. Then by remove it. So if the item is reduced to 0, we just remove it. And the toggle invisibility, we just toggle the inventory if it open or not. The render is just dealing with render most of the item. We also render the drag item As you can see, we drag it. We just go along with the mouse position. For the inventory bar, we also have class. We also have function for render it too. So it's just here. We add the button. We render the slot that you are placing and other slot. For the mouse event, it's for dealing with when you're dragging the item from the slot to another slot when you're opening the inventory. And here is for when you click onto the inventory, you want to check your mouse button with the item in inventory, so you can check what item you want to drag or move. This for select the item that you drag to another position of the inventory. For the loot table, it's like the caster dealing with the top rate and how you randomly drop the item for the player. So we will add the item to the vector and then so the chance value we add for the chance and calculate it, and if the random value is meet the chance, you will just push it to the inventory of the player. In the fishing manager, if we deal with one of the fishing, we have like the cast enemy. It is the enemy that spawn when you fishing. So here we just initiate all the fish, put it into the fish list, and here for the render fish, it is for rendering the with animation in the water. It's like the fish that moving the circle here. As you can see, it will randomly render in the water, so you have to fishing on it. Then we render the catch. It's just the render animation when you catch the fish. Yeah. Then we have like the fish check fishing. We just check the fishing position of the player and the lane of the lobe to the water layer of the tile. It is the JSON file. And then if the chance is more than 2, we just add the fish to the player. Instead, we will just spawn the enemy. We also have a chance rate for spawn the shark or the squid. The squid is more have more health and more damage. And we push the enemy to enemy vector, for the render and update. In the update function for the fishing method, we just update the enemy target position vector, collider vector, and update model thing of the enemy. And for the door, we just store the enemy. In the enemy class, it's just like the player, but instead it just take the player collider. We will store the XY position of the player, and if you just walk to the position X and Y of the player, it's just like the following the player. And if it's collider with the player, the collider will reduce its health. And also if it walks to the player, it also attack the players. Here I input the player from the set target function of the enemy. and it have the pointer to the player health, and we just reduce player health here. And this is the attack time that we set. And then for the item class, I forgot to talk about the shop. Here are the shop function and the variable. It's like the shop item. And we also have the pointer to the inventory of the player. So first we have to init it by pushing all the item and render the shop between the tab, sell tab and buy tab, and render the text and the item here. Update the shop, it just check if the shop is open or not. And we need the button for both sell and buy. Render the item. For each item we have fishing load, which is the most important item, and it consists of a lot of variables like here. There are a lot of logic here. We have to deal with the when the log is showing, we have to draw the curve and the line by using the point. So we will just interact with the position we fishing. As you can see in the game, we have to aim, and you can see the curve and the line here. So there are a lot of things to do in this class. We draw the circle, the pointer that you can see in the game, and when you use it, we just check if you press the mouse, so it will increase the length of the loop, and then you check with the Qt event. We just you have to click when the click text is appear on the screen. So it will change the state of the QuickTime event. We are also dealing with the the direction of your cat. So for the description, we just show the description when you open the shop. The door, we just door depend on the direction of your cat. The X and Y is just return the value of the loaf and the version of the cat player. So you just to check if the position where you fishing is okay. The QuickTime event is just like they have T state, like you have to click T time at the specific time to eventually finishing the fishing and get the fish out of monster. Then we have a food class. Basically, it's just pointer to the player health and increase based on the heal value of the food class. We also draw it when the player hold it on the hand. For the source, here is the source class in the source.cp. We get the enemy vector here and check if the collision of the source is collide with the enemies, and we will reduce the health of the enemy depend on the damage of the source, and we also reduce the endurance of the source too, and double it depend on the direction of the player. So I forgot to talk about the tech manager. The tech manager is for the render everything in this game. Like we initiate the surface and the texture. We also have the texture map. It is the texture it is the vector to hold all the vector ID texture ID. And for the pass texture, we pass the text file that store all of the vector text for hold of the texture ID and the folder, the path to that texture, so it's easier for us to store the texture. We don't have to like put all the path here, just put it in the file and it will just load from the file to the texture ID vector. Here is the doll function for the texture. We have different doll function like doll each frame, just basically doll and doll type. It is not the same, and we do it depend on the camera position, and we get the STL renderer from the engine class, and the clean is just delete all the texture and dot. We just dot the texture as you can see. And for the text manager, it's like the texture manager, but it's just render text instead. For the tile class, we use it to render the tile, and we load the vector tile from the JSON file using Tileson library here, as you can see. And when we render it, we iterate through the layer vector depend on the layer name and render it here. It is for get layer typeset to check with the collection. So I think this is all about my code. Thank you for listening. Okay, thank you.